But to switch gears on this conversation today, man, we got like a good few more minutes on this podcast today. We want to talk about Lyfe Jennings. He sat down with the Breakfast Club, and man, when we heard this in pre-production, saying, man, I'm like, I can't wait to go in on what he said, because now it's time to unleash the dragon.
Stores right now, 777, plug that. But let's go back to the Slave song. How many records are on radio right now that's just totally bashing women, drugs, and all this different stuff? But yet and still, they playing this stuff on just a radio for our use. And our use, they get desensitized to that. Mm-hmm. Like these chicks out right here, these chicks out here now is niggas. These chicks is niggas right now.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, all the stuff that guys used to do, how we'll be parlaying, oh, I smashed and I did this, blah, blah, blah. These chicks is doing now. And you got these chicks on radio glorifying, I'm going to get money from him, then I'm going to throw him away. And then I'm going to go to the next nigga that I can get more money from. But then we glorify this, and then we act like that when this stuff is going in our society, like teen pregnancy or drug use, we acting like our music don't got nothing to do with it.
But like this been going on, our generation was just as bad, if not worse.
Nah.
You crazy.
No, because you know why? We have more variety.
We got the balance now, though.
Well, what's the balance?
The balance is the guys like the Kendrick Lamars, the J. Cole's, the Wale's, the Big Sean, the Chance the Rappers, the Rhapsodies.
People also don't have to listen to radio. There's a lot of options. Like there's a lot of streaming services, there's satellite. People, I think, consume music in so many different ways now that it's not just what's on the radio.
And women are talking free. If you're talking Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, or Nicki Minaj, but it's the same thing that dude's been doing for the last 20 years.
By the way, Little Kim and Foxy Brown, Little Kim and Foxy Brown wasn't talking about getting money from Trina.
Even when dudes was talking, and it wasn't as prevalent. It's almost like right now, it's like the worst shit that you could possibly say, and the weirder you get, because these niggas out here weird for real. Like it'd be different if your hair was purple your whole life and you had 39 piercings in your mouth, but they see that that's what's popping. They see that that's the shit that's getting their attention. You dig what I'm saying? So they start doing it. You really think these niggas is like this for real? You really think all these females out here is really getting money from niggas like that? You think they is for real?
The kids? Yeah.
Nah, hell no.
All right, that was Lyfe Jennings on the Breakfast Club. That was a tense interview. Oh, Godford, if you don't know, he had his 777 album that came out. He had a song on there that referenced he was going to beat it up like a slave, right? And I forgot who took offense to it on Instagram, but Charlemagne, he vouched for it all the way. Lyfe Jennings took exception to that. They had a real tense interview. It was tense right there. But to just kind of get on the context of what he said, right? I know you had a lot to say about it when you heard it in pre-production. Man. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours. It's real. A lot, all of what he said, pretty much, is real. And he had Charlemagne and Angelique kind of trying to downplay it a little bit, and they should. I mean, obviously, one of the top, radio companies out there and podcasts, whatever you want to call it. They rely on these different people coming through, all these celebrities that's popular to give the interviews, and they both, get hot off for that. But look at people like, and nothing but love for these people, but let's just look at them. Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. Every time you turn them on the TV, they got the ass shaking. You literally will have to be a fool to let your young children sit up there and listen to this music. And you hear it, all the stuff that they saying on the radio, and you cringe. And it's like, Angela, you try to say, well, you got a choice. Not really, because when you're in the car, the mall, anywhere you go, all the outlets you're hearing this music. Like some of the stuff I don't even like, but I begin to like it because I'm just hearing it. No matter, I could be at the doctor's office, the dentist, taking this shit in a fucking restaurant somewhere. You're going to hear this. It's going to and a lot of times I think people don't realize like the effect that this stuff has on the subconscious mind. And we wonder why we see the children out here now. Again, I told this story and I'll tell it again. One of the more big problems in the middle schools right now is women on women relationships. So people, they're promoting this, these rappers, they're promoting drugs, they're promoting sex. And this has been going on for a long, it ain't new. It's been going on for ever since, the whole transition from when they had the Public Enemy and that whole conscious rap where they were trying to, program great things in the mind for people to be great. And then it kind of got bastardized with the NWA. And, we started talking about, pimping, hoeing and different things like that. And he also, speaks about the role reversal. And then we wonder why our music, the music reflects what you're talking about, reflects what the people are doing, the state of the people. So when you see all these artists that are promoted widespread, that are promoting lean use, drug use, stealing your girl, promiscuity, sleeping with different people. You see them being promoted widespread, and you look at the condition of Black America, then you wonder why we're where we're at in this country. You turn on the TV and you got somebody like Cardi B, doing nothing but shaking her ass. And yeah, it's fine because we men, but then you got her at the same breath trying to sit with a Bernie Sanders and try to talk politics. I don't want to hear no woman shaking her ass talking no politics for me. Why is that the only thing that they got to promote? Meg Thee Stallion shaking her ass all the time. Why can't they promote their intellectualism? Now, a lot of times when we talked, you said, well, oh, you know, Meg Thee Stallion's in college. Well, she ain't promoting that. Mm-hmm. Every time you see her, his ass is shaking. Yeah, we love it. But that's all she's promoting. And the girls see it, like Lyfe Jennings was saying. The young girls see it. You might pop on my Instagram and see a little girl doing what they doing. So their influence is way bigger than what they think, all the way to their dress, all the way from what they say, all the way for what they drink, all from the drugs. But they ain't talking about once you start popping this shit, now you addicted to it. And now you got to go to rehab and this, that, or you may die, OD. They ain't talking about that. They ain't talking about none of that. So I think that it's disingenuous. And I think that a lot of these rappers, you know, are feeding into the agenda just to get rich. And they really, truly don't care. As long as they got their bag, they Louis purses and shit, they can fly around on the private jets and do what they want to do. Everything is all cool, but you're leaving a path of destruction in the community, regardless if the parents is there or not. You're leaving a path of destruction because these kids are looking up to you, Meg Thee Stallion, you, Cardi B, you, Jay-Z, you, Meek Mill, period. It just is what it is.
So the mainstream radio, I'm not going to take too much. I want to ask you one more question. The mainstream radio, knowing all of this, because ain't nobody dumb. This ain't, you ain't have to open up an encyclopedia or go digging too crazy into the computer to realize this. This is common sense if you've got 2 ears and 2 eyes and you can listen in here. Either or. Why don't they say anything? Are they the problem as well? Are they just as equal a part as the agenda as you say the artists are? You
said who? The media?
The hip hop media outlets, right. Your Hot 97s, your 105s, the radio outlets that promote these kind of records, even though we know they're getting a nice healthy bag from the music industries and the recording labels to do so. Mm-hmm. Are they just as well as the problem? Because we hear it everywhere, like you said, it's everywhere. It's being conditioned into our heads. So whether you want to hear it or not. And most importantly, okay, as adults, we can turn it off. But when you send your children to school or they're up in their room chilling or they're on YouTube and this comes on or sitting right there,
or your friends listening to it,
they're going to get to them.
Right.
So are your radio stations, in your opinion, is Charlamagne the God and Angela Yee kind of, and even DJ Envy to a certain degree, kind of going at and dispelling everything Lyfe Jennings was saying? Are they a part of the problem too? Are they trying to protect their investment in that?
See, one of the I won't go that far, but I would say that one of the things that Charlamagne, you know, he kind of alluded to was the fact that you got your alternatives, your J. Cole and your Kendricks, but when you look though, and the top songs that are being promoted and pushed out to you, it ain't those. Every now and again you see a J. Cole, Kendrick whenever they pop, but
whenever they drop an album.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, for the most part, it's the ratchet shit. Dude talking about, I mean, I love the baby, but the joint he talking about, you know what I mean, titty fucking. I mean, like, it's just like, come on, like that's when the kids hear this, they know what it is. Mm-hmm. Eventually they not stupid, because when we was younger and they so-called blinked it out on radio, we knew exactly what it was, and we was trying to do that. So I think that teen pregnancy is a problem. Kids doing drugs is a problem. Kids zannied out, perked out is a problem. That's not cool. But they following these rappers. Go ahead.
Nah, just to give a quick story. My son's 11 years old. He had to do a physical. He had to do some things for 6th grade, and they were asking him right just straight out, "Are you sexually active?" And he's looking like, "Yo, like, wow, nah." Like, but the females, they know some of them walking in are, and a lot of that is influenced by what they see, what they hear, what's popular, what they like. I took him to a party at the end of the summer last year, and it's the little girls. And then you talk to some of the moms and some of the dads, and they like, or some of the teachers, they like, "Yo, dog, the girls is worse than the boys."
Yeah,
it's heavy influence. I mean, you could blame it on mass incarceration in the 90s, the drug era with the dads not being around, and the disconnection between black men and black women, and just, or men and women in general, with just people were just looking at black men like they were nothing because we were sitting behind bars for unjust reasons, and the girls seeing that or sexual things that may have happened early on. Certain things are just triggering a lot, and it's a wild, wild west out here in 2019. So you just got to protect your children as best you can and keep them knowledgeable. And you got to hold the ones accountable, even though we got nothing but love for everybody we talking about on here.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect. We want to see each and every one of these females win, but we want to also see them evolve and turn into something else that we can kind of give to our young daughters and our boys, kind of a role model, which even though I know you're not role models, you are.
I mean, yeah, they are. I mean, you got all these millions of people following them. A lot of people, it's a small demographic. I was just getting ready to say, you know, in closing, if these people were to promote being a doctor, being a lawyer, people will follow that. They don't understand that. You know what I mean? Kids are impressionable. If they make it cool to do what they do, they make it cool to wear what they wear, cool to be shaking your ass and shit like that. They made it cool to be these other things. Kids would definitely follow. Now, I want to say in closing also, not to put a lot of heat on them, it's the parents' responsibility as well. Way more than that to mold their kids. But we can't sit up here and act like that these entertainers and celebrities don't have an influence as well.
They do.
Right.
And they make money off of it. They live a very lavish lifestyle off of it. They got to have themselves accountable and hold themselves responsible to a certain degree too.
Yeah.
It just has to happen. We want you to grow. When it comes with growth, some of these people that we're talking about are very young too, but you got to understand the complex of your platform and the responsibility you hold behind it too early.
Yeah. I mean, in closing, again, you know, the music, man, reflects the condition of the people, man. Just think about it. Just think about the people's music and what they're talking about. It tells you everything. So, you know, take that, you know, put it in your pipe and smoke it, man. It's been a great, you know, episode 247 of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast today, family. We definitely appreciate each and every person who stuck around and listened as we approach the 40-minute mark of today's podcast. Couple of things before we get out of here today, family. Hit that 5-star rating for us. Hit the 5-star rating. Don't forget, to leave a comment in the comment section and let us know, you know, if you like the podcast, what we could do better, or if you loved it. Also, subscribe to the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast as well.
Can't wait 248 tomorrow where we can sit back, relax, and get to the fuck shit on Friday, man. Salute to everyone that's listening on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. Like God said, leave that comment. Watching on YouTube, Viral Hip Hop News Uncensored, the Uncensored Truth podcast. You are rocking with the best. Hit that like button and notification bell. This is Sam Mint, Viral Hip Hop News. Hip Hop News Uncensored. Together we are the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out.